Hope everyone's having a good day so far. Let's get back to where we were at last night. So our first attempt at digging into API.tmobile.com weren't so fruitful. There's plenty of other places to look, though. I ran a fuzz on these two domains last night before going to bed. And if you look here, we got a few responses for uscc.com, and this is certainly not all of the available subdomains. This is just from the set that came down from Subfinder. So in addition to that, we got results for uscc.net. Some of these results look kind of interesting. Web administration interface. Go ahead webs. Some IP addresses. HTTPD, which is Apache. Grandstream device configuration. Error. Cloudflare. So some of these are kind of interesting, right? If we want to do a really simple fuzz, and actually I think we have a crunch. We have a crunch 1 through 3. Let's create a crunch 1, a crunch 2, and a crunch 3. So now we got some very simple possible subdomains for uscc.net. And the reason I'm doing this is because we got a couple results with the default set that we got from Subfinder. Some of these are 2-character and 3-character subdomains. Some of them look like IP addresses. that might map to individual home user routers, perhaps. That would be kind of bad. That said, plenty of people expose their home routers so that they can have a hole poked through their local area network, so that they can, for instance, access a home computer from far away. I just realized I have to take a shit. So that's a good time for a couple things. And I'm back. Sorry for the delay. That was a massive shit. That was the first shit of the day. That's how it goes. Takes me almost about 10 goddamn minutes, apparently. Do apologize. I'll try to get that done before I start streaming next time. Hope everyone's having a good day so far. Well, we got a lot of chatters already. It's funny that y'all are fighting in the chat over the meaning of the word cat in something. And yeah, you have a good point that it's probably not a great idea to if I stumble upon something, which I haven't yet, that doesn't mean that I can't show some of the processes. But you know, at the same time, I am also trying to make a game, and as I mentioned before, doing both at the same time is hard, and I'm trying to monetize. You know, I'm trying to get paid one way or another. And if there's a lot of time where I'm looking for something but I'm not actively finding it, you know, it'd be kind of helpful and useful to engage with my viewers and potentially educate some people as to the processes, because not everyone knows how to do this kind of thing. So what does cat do? It literally displays the output of a file. It's sort freaking concatenate, just like they said. Now, why would you want to do this? Like, why would you want access to a list of URLs like this? Well, maybe we want to look at them in our browser, right? Hey, let's take this top one, web administration interface. Copy that. Let's open up our burp suite. Let's load this into our browser. And we get this thing for a pep link. Let's take a look at the source. It's interesting. There's a template parameter here for something called device name. You must enable JavaScript to access the web admin, which means that there is some rendered JavaScript over here, or rendered HTML rather. Now I don't see the corresponding form. Oh, there it is. So it just says a name, but it doesn't tell me where I'm posting to. So if we wanted to capture that request, take a look, see at what might be going on there. Let's throw some bogus stuff in here. All right, so now, oops. Okay, so it's posting to api.cgi. And it's posting it in JSON form. So of course, we get an unauthorized failure code here. You know what? This is actually out of scope. God damn it. All of the ones that are mobile.uscc.net are not in scope. God damn it. Fuck. So we can't look at those. Similarly, uscc.com. Well, we didn't get anything for mobile there, but darn it. Well, okay. So let's say we wanted to enumerate some of these other uscc.nets, because that's kind of still interesting, right? Like, what is a 405 error? Method not allowed. HTTP method get is not supported by this URL. Okay. Probably the same thing for the other one. Is there robots? Not found. Okay, interesting. So we got a 404 on that one. So happens if we were to like post, right? So favicon and robots come back 404 not found, but it's important to note that that is still a response. and it looks like a lot of that's coming back from Cloudflare, but this 204 no content and this 405 method not allowed. So the method not allowed and the 404 look like they're coming from Cloudflare, but the 204, and actually maybe that's also coming from Cloudflare. So I want to do like a couple things before we move on to Gamedev. And damn, I was hoping that we could use those results. All right, let's do some ZDNS, right? All right, so while that's running, oops. All right, we got some automated hacking going on. Content start implementation. Current signal is editing plan now to make a live handoff document. Adding a first probe script under this workspace so execution is reproducible instead of ad hoc. First pass tooling is in place. I'm executing the probe now against 2 hosts. Now I'll condense the results into the plan file. I'm leaving it as raw JSON only. Over here we have scanned 7,000 names on uscc.net. We are fuzzing all character combinations of length 1 through 3 for A, B, C all the way through to Z and 0 through 9. Southbound connector. Mobile device network makes sense. That's probably what that stands for. Hope everyone's having a good day today so far. We are just barely getting started. Alright, so because it's saying, it keeps pointing to southbound connector. Yeah, specifically southbound connector appears to actually have something behind it. So let's see here. Let's start with common. Okay, so that's interesting. We're getting a mix of responses here. And they're pretty static, right? Like, that's coming back from Cloudflare, so that's, you know, naturally it's you know, the WAF is grepping. So it's coming back with 403 there. And then for a 404 like CVS ignore, it's got a much smaller error, but it's also of a static size. So filter size 566 and 5041. That way, if there's anything that comes back as like, you know, possibly a different error message or even a successful endpoint, then and it's happened to be something that's covered in common.txt, then we will find out in the next few minutes here. Interesting. Actually, what's happening, everybody? If you are watching this right now, do me a favor and give me a like and a subscribe. We grinding over here, boy. Ooh, we got something. All right, we got something not 0 here. Looking forward to passing these results directly into the session. Hell yeah. Yo, I see that new viewer coming in. If you like what I'm doing over here, if you're interested in learning how to hack with AI, if you're interested in doing some bug bounty, if you're interested in game development, learning how to get good with these computers, son, I'm all about it. That's all I do. In the meantime, I think I gotta do my Duolingo real quick.我们的房间很小。
我只有一个洗手间，我只有一个
洗手间。我只有一个洗手间。房子。
我喜欢你的大客厅，我喜欢你的
大客厅。
他的公寓只有2个房间。他的公寓只有2个房间，只有2个。他的公寓只有2个房间，房间。
客厅很小，客厅
很小。
客厅。
我的房子。
我的房子。
我们的公寓很大。公寓很大。
房间。
房间。
我的洗手间很大。我的洗手间很大。
喜欢。大房子很新。在只有3个房间。我的公寓很小。
Articles, or is that our articles? right, we just finished our Zhongwen for today. Although we get plenty of time in the day left, suppose we could do some more later. So far we are halfway through done with that DNS scan, and we've got nothing new yet. Not the largest scan that we could do either, but oh, that must be from the previous run. We gotta wait for this to finish so that it can save it. Overwrite the previous file. Seems it doesn't do partial saving. That would actually be something that would be an upgrade to a fuzzing tool like this, right? Is writing out partial results. That way you could start using results before a scan is complete. It's kind of a good idea, actually. Like saying FFUF or FFUF isn't as nice as saying something like the fuzz or fuzzer. Use fuzzer. Use the fuzz. Is there a product called the fuzz already? Looks like, yeah, there is one called the fuzz already. It's for fuzzy string matching. I'll probably have to call it something like evil fuzz or something. Okay, we got some results. All right, we got another fuzz going here. This might take a little bit. Hey, sitemap. We could also take a look at any URLs that might have returned for that. Okay, we don't have anything there, so echo mdm.uscc.net. Oops. What's happening, everybody? I see y'all in the chat. Welcome to the dojo. Like and subscribe if you haven't done so. I only see one like right now. Holla if you hear me. Type in the chat too if you got anything interesting that you noticed, or if you want a backseat critique. I can't believe this loser is using all this goddamn AI. What have you. Viewer engagement is important. These are interesting results. I've got a couple other fuzzes I can think of that we should try here. In a little bit, I'm gonna make a snack, get some food, maybe start some laundry. A little bit, I gotta take my dog out to pee pee and poo poo. Took about 3 minutes to run this much. Or this little. Over here, we actually got some no errors. We got 5 of them now. It's taken about 45 minutes to run 32,000 names through DNS in order to try and find some potential live targets. For USCC, besides just the 2 that we're working with right now. EXE, interesting. All three of these return the same response, though. So it's just kind of interesting that the other ones are returning different responses. So we are about taking about 5 minutes to run through almost 2,000. It's like 6 minutes. It's enough time for me to set up a few things. Hacking is all about time. Even if you have every single technique available to you, even if you have every tool in the world, you're going up against the target for the very first time and you've never seen the machine and you don't know anything about the machine, if you don't know what ports are open, is it a web server, is it an SSH server, is it a multi-purpose box, what are they hosting on there, like what's the purpose of the machine, you have to poke and prod it. You have to fire many packets at that machine in order to discern its shape, in order to figure out like what's it actually like underneath the hood, what sorts of things are available to you, what's it like for a regular user and not someone who's trying to hack it. These are all things that are just part of the process. You know, it's a very tough pill to swallow. It's one of the blackest of all black pills. You know, you grow up watching things thinking, oh, hacking's so fun. It's so interesting. It's so cool. But the reality is that cybersecurity can be quite boring and require a lot of patience. No matter what part of the cybersecurity landscape you happen to work at, you know, whether you're a penetration tester, whether you're blue team, whether you're purple team, whether you're a policy maker, whether you're a manager, whether you're a bug bounty hunter. It all requires time and patience. And with these AI tools now, like, people are going to become even less patient. I can already feel it in myself. You just have this sense of get it done, get it done. It's not great. Looks like we got nothing on this one. But the fact that it's returning 404s, maybe this warrants further examination with like a bigger word list or something. Since we're almost done with this run, I'm just going to let it finish out and then report back to the AI. All right. How do you say corroborate? Corroborate. 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 All right, so let's do another run. This time we're gonna do post, and we're gonna post empty data. Interesting. What's 405 again? Method not allowed? Method not allowed, yeah. So we can only use get on these endpoints. think once we set up this fuzz, it'll be time to move on to Gamedev. All right, so okay, yeah. No. Oh, wait. Oh, and we got some no errors here. Hold up. Okay, so we got a handful there. That's not bad. Do any of these actually return? Yeah, there's our WS and our MDM. The other ones do not come back with anything. So if we wanted to set up like a really big scan, for uscc.net specifically. So next, we're going to trim out some special characters. And we're going to sort. So we got a little bit over 2 million possibilities we're about to try here. This might take a little while to run, but hopefully it gives us some interesting, actionable insights. All right, so that's one thing running. What else do we want to run? We might want to do words first, actually. This is more likely than not some sort of API. All right, so remember it took like 10 minutes to run 4,000 requests. So this might take a while. But we already got a result. Interesting. .jsp came back with yet another different size response. .jsp error, and it actually just contains the path in the actual source code here. So that's really interesting. Very curious behavior going on. But now that we've got both of those set up and Okay, good. So now we got T-Mobile 2, which is ZDNS. We got this, which is also T-Mobile. So while those are cooking, I'm gonna take a break. May or may not get food yet, but I know it's about time to take my dog out. And you know, I'm ready to start doing a little game dev maybe. The idea is, you know, if you have the resources, you might be doing scans like this across large numbers of targets. But through this process, you know, hopefully we can discover something interesting. In the meantime, please enjoy some doom, and or actually let's keep it doom metal. Of course I'm alive. Wait, you didn't think I was gonna leave you forever, huh? No, I'm back. Welcome back to the dojo. We've got a couple more 404s. And actually this particular fuzz is running a lot faster than I thought it was going to run. That said, we only really have one unique insight to this whole situation, and it's this JSP variable, or this JSP extension. I'm gonna have to step away here in a minute, so I'm gonna kind of watch the timer on this run through. So we're maybe about a third of the way complete. I can talk about what I did off stream over the last 30 minutes. And I'll do it from now to 30 minutes ago. So I made some coffee for one. That's cooling off in the kitchen right now. Two, I set up some vape so I can have myself a little vape. This is an interesting and like some of these are really weird endpoints to like return. Like they all seem kind of all over the place. I took my dog out so that she could have a pee-pee and a poo-poo. Then I picked up her poo-poo. Kind of bad about that, so I'm glad that I did that. A lot of the neighbors who take their dogs out do not pick up after their dogs. So I want to set a standard, a better standard than I've been setting for myself. Maybe if I start doing it, other people will follow me. Right, Grace? Okay, so I also took fat shit. The shit alone took about 10 minutes. So apologies for the amount of time that it takes me to get back to stream, but I got a dog who is 18 years old, I got a cat who is 1. Oh yeah, and they got snacks. So when I made coffee, I got them snacks as well. So that way everybody's happy. And they usually chill out now from about now until dinner. I'll probably take Gracie out like on the hour, every hour. Make sure that she's all good. PP accidents are a big deal around here. When they happen, it takes a lot of time and energy. Not only to take care of the task, but to also, just get back to whatever it is that I might have been doing, whether it's hacking or game dev or sleeping or cooking or taking a shower or cleaning up. Anything I happen to be doing. So, with that in mind, since this is still running, it's taken 45 minutes to do almost half. That gives us some time. So how about we pivot? How about we do some game dev? The thing with this vape is the vape is harsh. This bag is old and dirty and needs to be cleaned. And the temperature of the material that I put in, pretty hot. Try to get that full spectrum. Naturally, being in the bag cools it off a bit, but it does leave a pretty harsh burn in the back of your throat. Well, I usually prefer bong rips with ice. Very controlled, very dose specific. Usually 1 or 2 right after the other. Have me good for a few hours at least. And by good, I mean pain-free. Able to focus, able to work. Even now, it's all dependent upon like where my limbs and extremities happen to be sitting, how they're angled, how the weight and pressure of sitting in different configurations puts pressure on my joints. Things get out of whack very quickly. And if I'm not medicated, then all those locations where I experience joint pressure come with the addition of pain, especially when anything that's locked up gets released. At least with heavy medication whenever these joints and muscles do unlock. The accompanying pressure release is not matched with as strong of a pain signal. You never really know how much pain you're in until you're not in pain anymore. That's because of the way that the nervous system handles pain signals. How something that's persistent over time gets masked by other signals. And so something that's in the background might not get noticed for a long time until it's actually dealt with. That's why I'm a big believer in things like acupuncture, acupressure, what's that other one where you go to a chiropractor? Really like these Indian ASMR massages. If I knew that someone could be appropriately gentle with my own head, I would not mind. But because I have a real fucked up spine and body, hesitant to I've had someone work on my back once. They didn't do any sort of head cracking or anything or any limb cracking or anything like that. But I need that kind of thing on a regular basis, and I just have not had it, and I've not been able to afford it. And I would like it. Let's see. All right, I'll turn my microphone down a little bit. The reason that I turn it up is so that y'all can hear me. The other reason I turn it up is so that I can, have the microphone relatively away from my face so that I don't have to have the microphone in my face, because it can be kind of distracting. That way it can kind of face the monitors without getting distracted by the microphone. And thirdly, I think I'm on 3. So I don't have to scream into the microphone. Like, can you hear me talking right now? And is the audio a little bit better? I feel like I tested the audio before I actually went live. And I generally test the audio and trust that there's a relative range that's acceptable or tolerable. Because at the end of one day, it's like one person versus other people's opinions. But I can ask, is it better now? You gotta remember that, one, I'm running no filter, so you get all of the background audio, which includes my lovely air filter. Secondly, there seems to be some sort of persistent fuzzing thing taken up, or like coming through it like around minus 45 decibels. Minus 40, minus 45. Because when I speak, the microphone seems to peak around negative 15, averaging like somewhere between negative 20, negative 15. And I generally feel like this is a little bit quiet for y'all. You can still hear the background noise. Yeah, I explained why. No, first of all, I'm not fucking with the microphone right now. Maybe not. So, I'm not fucking with the audio and the microphone right now. I'm leaving it as it is. Thank you for your feedback. I already explained about the background noise. The background noise is my air filter, and I'm not filtering for air filter because, one, when I'm typing, I want y'all to be able to hear me type. But secondly, when I use the noise filter, you can't hear me type. And also, when I use the noise filter, oftentimes, because I am far away from the mic, it fails to catch my words. And so what ends up getting recorded sounds like audio of me that's going in and out, and ends up being of lesser quality than what I'm giving you right now. So in other words, this is kind of a sweet spot in terms of audio. You may not think it's very good, but rest assured, I've thought this through. Now that said, I'm going to go ahead and think about something that's not my microphone quality. But I gotta say, You may not have been trolling, but that is an incredible buzzkill for the amount of time that I've spent away from the computer and then coming back and having to deal with that bullshit. So, you know, you can go fuck yourself. And you're going to say, haha, trolled him. He got mad. But honestly, like, who the fuck do you think you are? You know? You're some shithead loser trying to dick ride like me on the internet because you're trying to make fun or troll me or whatever. So, it's really not that my microphone quality is bad, it's that you think it's bad. Or that you don't like it. Or maybe you don't like hearing the background audio. Or you don't like hearing me type. Or you want... Okay, well, you don't... Like, if you want to help, you can give me some motherfucking money. So how about that? Otherwise, you can zip it, shut the fuck up, sit back, and let me get back to work. Because you're not helping. Yeah, and, you know, you could get doxxed again if you don't shut the fuck up. What you gonna do about it? What, you think $5 is worth anything? Dude, I got rent to pay. Try hooking me up with like $1,500. You know, maybe free some of my other students of the burden of, you know, paying me for services. If you actually want to help. Because your commentary about my microphone's not helping. If you want to help talk about the game, talk about like what I'm actually doing. Not about your dumbass opinion on whether or not you like my microphone arrangement. I've got a couple bugs that I need to fix. When's the last time you played the game? Maybe you should play the game. Yeah, that would be helpful, is to talk about the game. What's the matter? Are you banned in YouTube chat still? It's because of reasons like this that you're banned. You do understand this, right? You know, if you're actually trying to help and not just trying to be a distracting menace, you know, try to help me stay focused. Because you are not helping. You might think that you're helping and you think that it's your prerogative to help. First of all, who asked you for help? Nobody. End of discussion. It's pretty straightforward. What do you think of the game so far? It's pretty cool, right? Where's your game at? Oh wait, you don't have one. Because you're not making one. Is it because you're unable to make one? Or is it because you don't want to make one? Or do you not have time to make one? Or you haven't made it a focus to get this far into making one? Have you sold any copies of your game? I have. A few people have paid for my game so far. This makes me a professional game developer, even though I'm still an indie or an amateur. This section I think is actually really cool. check it out. If we face north and we hit E, wooden sign, pull something onto the pressure plate to keep the door open. So if you walk on the pressure plate, an orc awesome, we have leveled up. Let's increase our strength. Maybe every so often we'll allow like a double increase as a random thing. Maybe there will be like a hidden luck stat. I've been still thinking about this. Like, I really think luck would be an interesting thing to integrate into the game. And there will be a time when we're able to do that. As each incremental pass over the code base as it exists, and we refine things down to the fundamental existing components, we're able to add new features in one by one. We've gotten this far, but there's a couple bugs that I want to fix. Some of them involve the display of text. As an example of this, up in the top left, there's a subtle bug with the display of the word controls. The bottom of it appears to get cut off a little bit. And it's not clear if this is a bug in raylib or what exactly, because I've been encountering this for quite a while. And it's not exactly clear when the bug manifests or what the cause of the bug is, for instance. So when you walk off the pressure plate, door closes. If you try to open the door normally, oh, that's another bug. So there's a couple things I'm gonna write down. See, when you press backtick, appears to get movement, attacking, or taking any action. Message. let's see, what is another one of the bugs? What are some of the other... Oh yeah, so we pull that dude onto that. Somewhere along the way, I was thinking of like the next couple floors actually being caves, kind of like as an homage to Skyrim. And then after a few floors of caves, we could have them, you know, emerge in a grassy field that leads to some forest or some shit. It'd be kind of novel navigating downward from a actual dungeon starting point and going downward into caves and then going downward into grassy fields and then maybe downward into like forests, or maybe the other way around, maybe forests into grassy fields and then into a town, maybe. I was actually thinking of like this area being something like a mini town before you run through a couple other places. Also, we want to start planning on multi-dimensional So what I'm typing right now, there's a few bugs that I want to fix, and I'm also scoping out an interesting design upgrade. At the moment, navigating down through the dungeon floors involves At the moment, our dungeon floors have a correlation between floor number and what floor zone is this. What if one floor maps So if a dungeon is a world zone, what is a dungeon floor? So we would have something like world or like worlds are composed of world a world zone collection. No. world zone world zone and world zone area. So this is like a big migration thing, you know, just a possible handoff. World zone area. previously dungeon floor. Facilitate the addition of multiple exits to a dungeon floor. When you consider how best to map each exit. Yeah. We need to clean up this this file hardcore though. How's everybody doing? Let me take a look, see at the fuzz. Oh, we got an interesting 403. It's different from a 403 that we got previously. That's interesting. Oh, good. It's so much cleaner now. Okay. Okay, good. That bug is fixed. I wonder, maybe I should use a different thumbnail. You know, I haven't done any work on the Lua in a while. Would be a good, interesting time to dig back into that, because be a lot easier to do stuff. Now, it'd be interesting to set up like or figure out a way to set up like a MCP server to interact with GDB so that it could step through stuff on its own. It's interesting that it's actually doing Jeff stuff now. I wonder how badly it fucked something up. See, everything that it's doing right now would just take me so long. But I'm following what it's doing. Okay, so we need to make sure that when the player takes action, like whenever there's like a pending message box, you can't like take action. I kind of like that. Actually, now that I realize, cycling through message boxes, we probably don't want to allow accessing menus and stuff. Dungeon. Let's watch the transcript for what it does. It's really hard to follow because it's moving so fast. No wonder people like to watch this. So the DNS run is 77,000 names in, with no successes yet. FFUF, we have found something that returned a slightly different 403 error than some of the other ones, and it's just about done with its run. I'll show you real quick. So you can see we've got this one right here. It's 4511. That's a different value.